Hi and welcome to The Winning Factor. I'm Alan Aitken, and on this show each week we take a look at some upcoming races in Hong Kong and try to isolate an angle to the race that might lead us to the winner. Well, Sunday racing at Sha Tin, mixed dirt and turf, and we'll be touching on a little of each during this show. But we're going to start with race 1, where our winning factor is the map. So this is a Class 5, 1800 metres, and I'm sure there'll be cases made for some horses like Hakka Radiance, Leather Master, Smashing Express, and yeah, boy has a chance down in the weights. But for me, Pierre Ung has the iron grip on this race, with Zach Purton's ride Storm Runner and Mr Aladdin with Alexi Bedell on board, both coming from his stable. Now, the one thing about these low-grade staying races is there aren't many opportunities for these horses, so we do see them race each other quite frequently. And in the two replays I'm about to show you, 7 of Sunday's 10 runners met in both of these races. So first of all, let's go back to June and the win of Golden Fairy. This is race 768. Now, Storm Runner is in gate 6, purple and gold colours, and he's fast to begin, you can see here. But next to him is the designated leader, Golden Fairy, who presses forward. And Purton doesn't want to take him on, he wants to drop in behind. But he does find there's a bit of pace underneath him and drifts back. Still never getting closer than 3 wide with some cover. Now, Lyle Hewitson on the leader tries to keep a lid on things, but he gets challenged during the second section and has to really fire up the pace to hold the front. So we've got a good speed. And a critical point of the race comes at the 800 metres. Now, as I said, Storm Runner, he's 3 wide with cover, but he's drifted back past midfield, and I think Zach Purton would have liked to have been creeping into the race at this stage. And he's following Leather Master, who's going nowhere, and that means he's going nowhere either. So, short of going 4 wide, Purton just has to wait. And although Golden Fairy has spent some energy, he is a bit of a stayer, if nothing else, and he keeps going down the straight. Storm Runner, from 6 lengths away, does cut the margin back, but it's just too much. Now, that was the second run for Storm Runner in Class 5, and with different circumstances, I think he would have won either of those races in this grade. He subsequently had a race in Class 4, every chance, ran third, ran well, but he's back to a grade that really suits him here. Now, Mr Aladdin, he's had 25 starts, still looking for his first win, but he's another horse who's been unlucky of late. At the end of last season, over this course and distance, he was very unlucky finishing second. And when he resumed for the new season on September 7, I think he was pretty unlucky again due to his wide barrier. Now, this is race 2 of the current season, barrier 13 in red and white colours, and Mr Aladdin jumps okay, but his rider lets him find his feet and drift back as others push forward underneath him, and he ends up right out the back at last placing. Now, Golden Fairy is again our leader in a soft initial speed, but when Hakka Radiance comes around to pressure him, Hakka Radiance gets over racing and the speed increases very quickly. That helps the horses following the pace. Mr Aladdin does try to get into it around the home turn, but he's pushed very wide, straightens up a long way out of it, and he and the eventual runner-up come together from the back and get close, but they've just had too much to do down the home straight. Now, that race crucially was over 1600 metres. This is 1800 metres, and that's more in Mr Aladdin's wheelhouse. And what's also going to help him here, he's drawn an inside gate for the first time in 7 starts. So let's take a look at how the map shapes up. So Golden Fairy is here again. He's going to be our leader from gate 1. We might again see Hakka Radiance prominent, but there is a key change of rider on him with the more conservative Hugh Bowman going on. So I think there's a bit more of a query this time over whether he will pressure the leader. Still, Golden Fairy's own best style is to make the pace true. He doesn't really have a turn of acceleration. Mr Aladdin, I think he'll show more tactical positivity here, up in distance with the better gate, While now Storm Runner has the outside and he has the problem of other runners likely to push underneath him. So Purton has to spend some energy pushing forward to get a forward place, or running the risk of having a tough run, or he goes all the way back again and that's going to give away a head start. But the tip from me in race 1, Mr. Aladdin, his winning factor, the map. Now, I don't really think there's an awful lot between these two stablemates, but the fact that Mr. Aladdin is going to get a nice run through a race for the first time since about March this year from the good draw, and his main rival does have a few issues to overcome, I think that swings things his way. Mr. Aladdin's ready to put that first win on the board. The second race I want to take a look at is a switch over onto the dirt, and here the winning factor in race 8 is the quick backup. So this is a class 3, 1650 metres, as I said, on the dirt. Some decent gallopers here, but nearly all of them are returning for the new season first up, while the horses I want to really focus on are the Ricky Yu trained Dragon Air Force and Mark Newnham's Mojave Desert, who clashed just a week ago over 1200 metres on this surface. So let's take a look at that replay. This is race 27, current season. Gate 1, black and yellow colours is Dragon Air Force, who jumps well. Gate 5, mauve colours Mojave Desert, a bit slower to begin and gets back further. But the pace here I want to highlight. It's very sound from the start with a competitive lead. But it continues through the entire race. So look on the heat map, there is no point where the pace really eases up here, and I think that is going to make this look quite strong form. Dragon Air Force stays inside from that inside gate. He follows the rail, gets a run through between horses at the 200 metres before his fitness peaks, and he finishes 5th, while Mojave Desert is wound up down the outside and he runs into 3rd place. Now, both of those were admirable first up runs, and here they are 7 days later back to the races. So I thought we'd take a look at horses on the quick backup and whether they are advantaged by coming back to the races so soon. Now, this is an angle which has been quite popular in racing analysis for a long time. The underlying theory is that a horse returning to the races quickly has a race fitness advantage, and also it's a fair bet that the trainer has been very happy with the condition of the horse in the stables since that run. Now, down on the last line of this table, you'll see that over all trainers in the last 5 years, the performance is clearly ahead of the market expectations, but obviously some trainers do it better than others. I've listed Hong Kong's top 10 performers in this sector by strike rate over those 5 years, and there they are, Ricky Yu and Mark Newnham, the trainers of Dragon Air Force and Mojave Desert, high amongst them. Now, they meet on similar weight terms to last week, and both of them have shown that they handle the 1650 metres quite well. So let's have a look at how the race maps up. I expect a good pace with our most likely front runners, Ariel and New Forest, pushing forward from the wide gate in that very short run to the first turn from the 1650 metre start, and that should guarantee the pace of the race. Aside from them, though, there isn't a whole lot of speed in it. Mojave Desert has only run once at this distance and was quite close up from a low draw like he has on Sunday, and Never Peter Out. I think he'll be looking to put himself somewhere in the first 4 or 5 from his low draw. Further out, Dragon Air Force and Chilkaka, I think they might have just a little bit of work to do if they're trying to get around those horses on the inside or put themselves into the right spot. So the tip from me in race 8, Mojave Desert, his winning factor is the quick backup. Now, the quick backup is on the side of both of these horses that I've identified in this race. I think that gives the two of them an edge over their rivals. But when we look at that map, it might just swing things towards Mojave Desert from the inside draw. Well, that's it from the winning factor this week. Good luck on Sunday. We'll see you next time.